ask questions too, what they have done differently, how it is now that they are not like ambassador of healthy eating for their family because of the fact that they are nutrition for kids mom. So we are going to be asking three of them questions before we go to our next session. Are we ready? We have Toyin, we have Patient, and we have Omolola. Omolola has relocated to has relocated to Canada and left us in Nigeria. But even with that, self, it's still the same principle as I
Come
said.
and meet me. Don't stress her.
So is Toyin there? Are you there? Say hello if you are there. Patient is Patient online, is Patient here. Is Omolola here? I know Omolola, I've been seeing her comments. They are ready for us.
Omolola is here.
So if you want to sign up for PEDs, yes! How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you as well?
You are looking very well relaxed. It's like those children are not, they're not. Yes. So I'm going to be asking you, so before joining Nutrition for Kids, what was your experience like? I am asking this question as a foundation so that moms that are still on, they've not joined that healthy eating train for their children, they should be able to relate with the fact that they are not alone. Like moms that are doing it now, they were once at their they were once at that level. So what was it like before joining Nutrition for Kids or before joining PEDs?
Okay, thank you so much, Ify and Labake, for having me on this platform. So for me, before I joined Nutrition for Kids, I was that confused and overwhelmed mom. I mean, my first child is like 13 plus now, and then I when it was time to win him, I didn't know what to do. So of course, there are friends, grandmas, moms, different people telling you, oh, try this and try that. And I was doing all of those things, but the child was not just taking those things, you get. And because I didn't have the appropriate knowledge, I tried. In fact, my colleague at work then, she gave me a immersion blender to try puree food. She told me, oh, puree carrots, puree this. I tried it for a bit and he wasn't taking it. So I'm just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I just resorted into buying store-bought food and just giving him that. In fact, I even got some form of advice from a family that said, oh, whatever the child is taking, even if it's just this one, just keep giving the child, So the staples then was just maybe like custard, um, um, what else? No. Golden Mon was when he turned 3, right? Yeah, but the constant then was custard. Custard was every day, every single day. In fact, sometimes twice a day, because that's what he was taking, So and then coupled with the fact that I was working 9 to 5, my office was maybe like 1 hour away from the house, factor in traffic and all of that. So by the time I get home, I'm exhausted. I try puree foods. You're not taking it. I just bring out the custard, whip it up, and give it to you. So I was overwhelmed and confused. I didn't know what I was doing. It was always a struggle to feed him. And those children that when you put a spoon in the child's mouth, it can hold it there for maybe like 20 minutes. And I'm just like, you need to swallow this food because we need to move on. Sometimes he will slip up on the food with the food still kept in his mouth. So it was a lot. So I was there struggling with all of that. And then eventually, some years after, I think someone sent me the PEDs Nutrition Challenge, but I was very wary about all these Instagram things, I'm just like, all these people, but then I thought to myself, what can I possibly lose by getting on this program? Worst case scenario, I would have lost the money that I paid for it, and then I'll move on with my life, So I decided to give it a try. And coincidentally, I just had my second child then. So I got on the program, and the rest, like they say, is history. So yeah, before PEDs, I saw Shaggy. But I mean, I guess we're in a better place now.
Thank you so much. Is Patience here? Yes, Patience is here. Is Toyin here? Yes, Toyin is here. Patience, want to see your face now. So, Patience, I want to ask you, as somebody that has actively engaged with Nutrition for Kids community, how has the experience influenced the way you feed and care for your family? Where is Patience is there?
You're on mute, Patience. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I apologize. I've been talking since. Okay, so for me, Nutrition for Kids has been really impactful. I honestly feel like God did not make us to be alone. Community is the way to go in this life. Just look for a community that aligns with your values and just join. Because for me, Nutrition for Kids is an amazing community of moms who probably have the same struggles as you are and led by experts. Now, when you get information from Nutrition for Kids, you are sure that you are getting scientifically proven information. It has helped me with, because personally, maybe because of my science background, when you tell me something works, I want to know how it works. So you not just say, oh, this thing works this way. What makes it work for me? And from Nutrition for Kids, you get that if someone is telling you take fruits and vegetables, they're not just telling you to take it, they're telling you because it helps. You can actually see there's track record of proven fact that all of this works. So it has helped me, that improved my fruit and vegetable intake. When I eat food now, I know what I'm supposed to get from the food, not just eating food to be full, but eating food knowing fully well that this food you are eating has the ability to help you generally or otherwise. So for me, it's been enlightening, the Nutrition for Kids community. Thank you.
Lavake, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you very much, Patience. I want to ask, what has been like the single most helpful strategy or shift in mindset that you have learned from Nutrition for Kids that has changed how you approach meal times at home? What has it been? Hey, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh, was that question for me?
Yes. Like what?
Okay.
I know I've been listening to you talk about your girl Penny, and I've listened to you talk about how that was one of the reasons why you joined Nutrition for Kids then, and it has also gone from just nutrition and your children's nutrition to your family's nutrition generally. So what was that mindset shift that you got from Nutrition for Kids basically?
Okay. So for me, I will start by saying that I learned that food is medicine. I learned that we are basically what we eat, and that there's a lot of empty foods around which we did not know. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that you could eat stuff and it would just fill your tummy and really would not add any nutrients to you. So for my family, I learned first for my children, but because I had grown kids, I was able to apply it to everybody by learning what food to feed everybody at whatever age, starting from my youngest when she was 1 to myself and my husband. So we eat to live, we don't live to nations that I could make that could benefit the whole family.
I think there was a little I had a little network problem
Did you
there.
hear me?
No, I heard you, but towards the end,
Okay.
it was lagging a little bit. Yeah. Omolola, I wanted to ask you that from your own experience, if a mom is too overwhelmed to even think about nutrition right now, maybe because of, I'm asking you because I know you have relocated and I know how it can be. Like generally, moms are overwhelmed, and not to talk of adding relocation to it. What advice, if a mom is so overwhelmed to even think about nutrition right now, what is one tiny doable step that you encourage her to start with so that she will be on track when it comes to her child's nutrition or their family's nutrition generally?
Okay, thank you for that. So I would refer to something that Ify said when she was presenting about like knowing what's available to you and making good use of it. So for example, if for a mom that is overwhelmed and is trying to, do better, I would say don't don't burden yourself with the big picture of, oh, this is how they should be eating. Start where you are. For example, if your children like pancakes, instead of saying, oh, that you're going to maybe just cut that out or switch it to something else, maybe add, instead of removing, add a fruit or add a vegetable to it, and it's already getting balanced, right? So it goes back to understanding maybe what food should be. Like Toyin said, we are eating food that is our medicine, right? So add to what is already existent. I remember there was one time that if he said something, we're in a conversation and this lady was struggling with a particular kind of food that her daughter was eating. And if he said, you know what, this child, she likes eba, even though it's not something that is core that she should be eating right now. Don't overdo it. Add spirulina inside the eba. You're already making it better. Do you get? So instead of trying to do a total overhaul at once, start by adding one fruit, one vegetable to the food. And eventually you can phase out certain things gradually and you can have more balanced meals of the ideal place that you want to get into, right? So if you already know the rules of, make it simple: carbohydrates, protein, fats, fruit or vegetable, and that's it. So I didn't know what your carbohydrate is, add the protein, the healthy fats that you're going to use to tie the meal together, and add one vegetable and fruit, and you're already on your way. Like it's already nutrient dense that way, and then eventually you can move to healthier options of that particular thing. If he said in a presentation about how she would look at the school menu of the food they were feeding that they were giving to children in school, and then she would make a healthier option at home. Yeah, so don't 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 give yourself the headache. Start small. Add instead of removing, right? Just add one thing at every meal. Make sure that there's a fruit and a vegetable. Eventually, like that, it will get easier. And another thing that I would say is, don't try to cook too many things. One thing that I love about the PEDS timetable is how it's structured in a way that one meal can be eaten 3 times. So in a week, maybe you just cook maybe like how many meals? Maybe like 5 meals or thereabouts, and then you can rotate it. So for example, in the morning, Sunday morning, if you give pancakes, maybe Tuesday evening, they can have it for dinner. Friday morning again is their breakfast. So you know that is sorted. If you're making, yam and eggs, they can eat it maybe as dinner on one day, lunch as another day, and so you can just don't try to cook fresh and don't no not fresh meals. Don't try to cook too many meals that will overwhelm you. Have a structure, timetable, 4 meals, and then you can rotate it. That way you can keep yourself sane, and you can also make sure that your children are eating well. So plan ahead, make maybe like 4 or 5 meals, decide that that's what they're eating for the week, and then you can rotate it, and yeah, make it accessible to them. And then also, like I said earlier, add gradually until you're able to phase out whatever it is that you don't want and you get to that place where you want to be.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Patience, I want to ask you, we all know that when it comes to LD eating, if you don't put yourself in like a community of people that are doing intentional parenting and intentional healthy eating, there's a way that you get to a point where you just follow everybody that are doing anything. So I know the advantage of having a community or being in the community or being around people that are health conscious. So I want to ask you, based on your experience with Nutrition for Kids, what makes Nutrition for Kids community different from other parenting space when it comes to the right kind of support system essential for raising healthier children?
Okay, so first of all, as the name implies, Nutrition for Kids is directly related to children nutrition. So, I mean, most people come there first of all because maybe they have issues with feeding their children. That's what brings them to the community. So that's why Nutrition for Kids is already set apart because that's the major goal. Then secondly, aside from children nutrition being the major goal, it's also a non-judgmental community. I mean, everybody has problem in this world, and there are some communities you go in and people be acting all holy as though they don't have any problem, but that doesn't happen in Church for Kids community. You see people who have like issues as you do, and they are all looking for solutions, and they get it in a very non-judgmental way. Also, like I said previously, everything in Church for Kids is evidence-based. So nobody is coming to tell you to do something without giving you reasons, as in researchable, fact-checked reasons for why you are doing it. So you are doing something and there's evidence-based knowledge on why you are doing those kinds of things.
Thank you very much. You want to add something?
Yeah, I also wanted to. No, I think that I just wanted to say, yeah. So those are the major things for me. Nutrition for Kids, evidence based, and because another important thing why I like Nutrition for Kids, because moms come, well, not moms, everybody come from different walks of life. So you have people who are in Nigeria, you have people who are in Canada, you have people who are in different countries. Nutrition for Kids will give you timetables or give you foods that are tailored to your community where you can easily find them. So it's a cultural fit, right? Yeah, nobody's coming to tell you, like you said, healthy eating doesn't have to be broccoli and spinach and all those things. I mean, you can get your ugu, you can get fruits that are in season, and of course they are cheaper and they are healthier to eat. Fruits that are in season and cheaper in Lagos may not be the same fruits that are in season in another country, let's say Gambia. Nutrition for Kids will give you all of those options so that wherever you are, you can get healthy food for yourself and your family. So that was another thing. That's another thing for me, the Nutrition for Kids community.
Thank you very much. The last question is for Mrs. Toyin. If you could speak to a mom right now who is currently crying over an untouched plate of food, what will you tell her? Maybe the child is a picky eater, is not eating. Based on your own journey, your own experience, and what you've learned from Nutrition for Kids, what will you tell the parent right now, the mom right now?
Okay,
Toyin,
before
for
I
you.
answer that, can I just add to what Patience said about Nutrition for Kids community? So one of the things that the community gave me was moms in my space. What do I mean by that? We all came into the community with children of different age groups, and we learned from each other. Apart from the fact that we have a pediatric nutritionist in the group, we actually have 2 pediatric nutritionists in the group right now. We learned from other people's experience. So you know how they say motherhood, child rearing, parenting, and all of that is a community. That was one thing that Nutrition for Kids provided. It did not just answer questions in relation to nutrition, but it actually answered questions in relation to the mother's welfare. Like I said, you will meet people in your own season of life. You will bond with them. You would learn from them, and you would actually see yourself hold your hand through whatever situation you are going through in Nutrition for Kids community. Now, to answer your question, if you have a picky eater, or you've put your all into the meal that you have made, and your child is still not eating, the first thing I want to ask you is, what kind of meal did you make? So in Nutrition for Kids, one thing we focus on is quality over quantity. The rule of CPF is very, very, very prevalent. It's something that is put into you such that whenever you're cooking any meal, my kids are all grown, all grown. My last will be 7 this year, so my first is a teenager. But whatever meal that I am making, I still follow the CPF rule. The CPF rule is what gives you peace of mind that no matter what quantity of food my child is taking, he's taking in proper nutrition for himself, proper nutrients for his body, proper nutrients for her body. So most of the time, when you have a picky eater, the tendency is for you to, want to get the child, spoon feed the child. In short, I have one of my kids that I spoon fed until he was almost as tall as I was. But I learned later that that was not the goal. The goal was to get him to eat something that could carry him through the day using the CPF rule. If we remember, CPF is carbohydrates, proteins, fat, like Omolola has said. So CPF, like I'm saying, carbohydrates, the meal. So let's take, for instance, your peanut butter and bread. Peanut butter, your bread is the C, which is carbs. Your nuts is the protein, which also has fats. And you add that with your apple. That's the minerals. Then you give the child, don't give the child juice if it's not natural juice. Just give the child a fruit and water. That is a complete meal. We see it as a snack, but that is a complete meal. So if you are cooking, for instance, a plate of white rice and stew, that you get a balanced protein bar, you have to have beans and rice is actually a complete protein. If we write, remind me now, yes, it's more balanced than giving the child just white rice and stew. So focus on what you are giving the child. Don't give the child empty calories. Give the child a CPF. Just follow that CPF rule and you'll be fine with whatever quantity the child eats. If the child takes a little now, give the child time to play. Give the child time to rest. We are taught the different kinds of what's the word? Labake, about children. So your child could be God. They will teach you guys in kids. You'll find out all this information, the type of child that your child is. Some children will sit down and finish their meal at once. Some children will take one meal and run around and come back after 20 minutes. Some children feeding language. Yes, you have to know the feeding language of your child. Some children need to sit down and have you dance for them, so you have to do drama and all of that. And some children don't want noise. They just want to focus on their meal, finish it and leave. So if you actually don't even know all of these things and you see your child, the plate is untouched, you have other things that you are looking at as to why the child is not eating. So just join PEDs. I don't know what else to tell you. Just join PEDs and learn.
Thank you so much. So we've come to the end of this session. Thank you so much, Toyin. Thank you so much, Patient. Thank you so much, Omolola. Thank you for sharing your experience so that people will not think that we are just hyping ourselves. Thank you. Thank you for all of this. We really, really do appreciate you. We need to move on to the next session because we are running against time with the English.
Can I just add something before we run really quickly? Very small
thing. Hey, if you
very small. Thank you, Gochi, for being so kind with us for time. Thank you so much. I just want to add something very quickly. I want to say, first of all, that the three women that you just listened to are mothers in different spheres of life, right? Different social background, different economic background, different parts of their journey, different children of different ages. But you can see how there is unison in communication about what they are saying. And that is something that is the core of what we do at Nutrition for Kids. We don't care who you are. We don't care where you are coming from. We don't care how much money you have. But you see, nutrition, we die on that hill because every child deserves good nutrition. It's not a choice. That is how you create resilient people that even when you are gone, they will continue to live their lives. And if you don't build this foundation now, like these women have said, these are women that their children are my children at this point, because I knew when some of them were like this small. And now you heard, I can't even believe that somebody that was 2 years old when I met her is 7. My mind is blown. But I just wanted to add that it is a foundational thing. We are not, and these women are not part of the communities anymore. I mean, you can see that they're experts in their field. They can do things by themselves if they want to. And for us, that is what is important. We want you to learn and pass it on to another person and pass it on to another person and keep passing it on. Because Nutrition for Kids is one company. We can't do all the work. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Yeah. So before we move on, somebody asked that after the peace of 14 days, what next? Are you leaving us alone or what? So